Good evening, everybody.
Yeah.
It's Scott here from Woke Societies here with the Effin' Doctor, and soon to be announced Methods will be here in just a moment.
Yes.
This is the channel for a lot of cool vibes and a lot of red pills. So if you're new here,
Red pills with receipts.
red pills with receipts.
You gotta have the receipts. You gotta have the sauce.
We got the sauce, we got the receipts. This is what you're gonna get on this channel. There's a lot of new people here I know from Red Pill 78 and two great guys, two guys that I've become friends with, and I cannot be happier to have met them. And we're gonna have a good time tonight. We're gonna talk to Methods about his journey,
Just being part of the movement,
how it started, where it's going, and in the future. And we're gonna get into some of the news, and we're going to get into some of the Q drops. What's going on, everybody? The chat is blowing up. Thank you guys for.
Let me hop on YouTube. Check out the chat for
Yes. What's up, everybody? It's Scott here from Woke Societies. Thank you for coming here. We got people from all across the world, and we're gonna have a good time. Happy Cinco de Mayo, everybody. Has everyone have their coronas?
Only in this country.
Only in this country, right? Let me hop over to the chat here and say hello to everybody. So we have 187 viewers already. Let's get that up there. Let's hit that like button. Like, share, comment. Tell your friends and family about this channel. We are the news now. And guys, I gotta say, we hit 30,000 subscribers as of yesterday.
Dude,
and
congratulations. That's so awesome. So awesome.
I just have to say, a year ago I started this. I had no idea it's going to be a year at the end of May.
Okay, so just past 2 years ago when you red pilled.
Yeah, it wasn't that long ago.
Right?
It was that summer. I started YouTube in May, and then a couple months later I told you about Q.
Before you started your channel.
It could have been. I don't remember. I can't remember past 2 weeks right now.
No, there's so much going on. I mean, the information's just flowing in.
It is. It's crazy, but yes, let me get the shameless plugs out of the way here, and then we'll get into the show. If you guys can, go to the Woke Society's YouTube channel now. Like, share, subscribe, comment, tell everyone about this channel. We are the news now. We are at 31.6 subscribers already, and that number is continuing to climb up. So if you like my stuff, go subscribe.
Wild. You guys are the best. I can't believe you're at 31.6 already. I just saw
crazy.
30 yesterday.
It's crazy. If you guys want, you can also up your fandom and join me on Patreon, where I have exclusive content. You guys can go there. That is for my diehard fans. If you hate YouTube, go to my backup channel at BitChute. All my content is there. And if you guys can, I have all my content on the go to download here on my wokesocieties.com webpage, where you can find all the major podcasting platforms, so you can download my content on the go. There is no excuse for not listening. You guys have plenty of options. And lastly, if you guys can, go check out my shop. I just put in some brand new apparel, which you guys can see: the hoodies, the hooded t-shirt, and the Woke Societies t-shirt. That is there for everyone to now buy. And this is just the first design. I have many more to come and all that good stuff. And since I was demonetized, let's get it out of the way. If you guys want to donate to the channel, send it to my PayPal, which is in the link below, and all that good stuff. How you doing today, Doc?
I'm doing great, man. I'm deciding on whether or not I'm gonna join some of these people across our country who are opening up their businesses. You know, as a self-employed business owner, I'm ready to go back to work.
Yeah, man, it's people are starting to feel it. People are starting to feel they don't want to be locked up anymore. And now the current Q drops, man, weren't they lighting a fire under our ass?
Yeah, they were
letting us know, hey,
absolutely.
Just because there's a time of crisis does not mean the Constitution is now in effect.
Yeah, that's that. SC 224, something like that. I mean, I have it. I have it on my phone. I took a screenshot of it immediately because
Yeah.
if I walk into a store and I don't, I'm not wearing that mask, and people are like, "Oh, you're breaking the law," and I'm like,
Dude,
"No,
it's crazy. I
I'm
went
not."
to Walmart. I couldn't even get inside Walmart without wearing a mask. They would not let me. They threatened to kick me out.
Yeah.
And I was livid, but we live in New York, which doesn't help anything. But so if you guys can, real quick, I'm gonna play a video here of this man here that was protesting, I think in Hawaii, and then we're gonna get into the intro and we're gonna bring methods in here. But I just want people to see, because it looks like we are at the end of this coronavirus pit that we've all been sunk into, and people are now tired of it. And there's just some videos here I just want to show. They're really quick.
Numbers are coming out.
Right, and we're seeing these videos of business owners being arrested, and I want you guys to listen to this man here that was in Hawaii talking about this. Check this out real quick.
My country, pride from, but that our political not doing research are capable of. We all have access to it. Research and looking at showing that this COVID and the flu we had last year. And why is nobody? How many died last year? Totals. Compare it to the totals now. Obvious. COVID-19 nowhere near deadly. Okay. Cause down destruction of our economy, our way of life.
So you guys get the point. People are pissed off. They're tired. They're over this. They're completely over this.
What's today? Day 44? Day 45?
Something like that. It's crazy. And there was another video here of a peaceful protest out here in Texas, and I can just show you. Don't even have to hear the audio, but I'll play it real quick. There are guns drawn on these men here for simply just assembling. What happened to our constitutional rights? What happened?
I don't understand how the officers doing this realizing doing.
Yeah, that's the thing right now, man. It's bad. I don't know. I really don't know. But either way, people are they're getting tired of it. So let's I just wanted to bring that up here, and it's good to see people are gathering together, and they're pretty much just saying we're not doing this anymore. We're coming out. We're tired of it.
There's been protests all over the country.
So let's get the intro going. Now, this is why I wanted to say it all starts with one person. Once it starts with one person, then the avalanche comes, which is why I'm going to show a video from The Bug's Life, which I don't really like in general, but because it's a Disney movie, but it's going to paint the perfect picture. And I'll see you guys at the other end of the intro.
It's a Disney movie with Kevin Spacey's voice in it.
And then we're going to bring in methods here. So if everybody can, we'll see you on the other side of the intro.
Uni.
Thanks for tuning in to the land of the real. But it's like the Twilight Zone, the plan is surreal. It'll blow your mind when the plan is revealed. Bring it all to light, all the plans they conceal. Grab your flashlight, it's time to go down the rabbit hole. It's dark and hell is hot, dealing with satanic souls. The tide is turning, patriots are now in control. Apply aggressive pressure right now until they fold. Stay woke, open up your eyes and keep them peeled. All they do is lie, realize not everything is real. Through Project Looking Glass, the future is revealed. Future proves past, but there won't be any deals. Woke society's fans, you know it's time to go. Grab your popcorn, sit back now, enjoy the show. Severe anon on the mic, so come on, enjoy the flow. The wave is rising and you know it's only gonna grow.
Okay. Yeah, I'm seeing the comments about the audio, ladies and gentlemen. We're trying to figure it out. Not sure what's going on here, so we'll square it away here. If not, we'll carry on. The show must carry on. So, okay. So thank you everyone for joining tonight. Thank you for coming. I am so excited to do this tonight, and we are going to bring in none other, the infamous Anon that everyone knows as Methods, the co-host of Red Pill, and just all around a good guy and a new friend that I found. And just want to say thanks for helping me with the subscribers and tweets and all the followers. So let's bring him in here. And Methods, are you there?
What's going on, gentlemen? How doing tonight?
There he is.
Methods, there he is.
First off, the audio. If you guys by 5.
Thanks, man. It's been an absolute ride. Again, it's funny because I watched my first video back in May. Let's see here. Yeah. So Eddie, when you talk,
Yeah, I gotta make sure I'll point to the mic.
Yep.
Sorry, guys.
It's all good. Yeah, we'll figure out the audio. We're just gonna stick with just voices and no music for right now. We'll get it squared away. So yeah, I was filming a video in my backyard of myself pacing because I hate the camera. And I was scared out of my mind, and a year later, here I am. I never knew it would get this far at 30,000 subscribers. We're already at 31, but it's been an absolute ride. And Methods, this is why a huge reason why I wanted to bring you on. The one thing that I love about our community, they are just so giving, without even thinking about it. And it's just funny because when I see the media paint the Q following our movement as crazy fanatics, as just psychopaths, it can be nothing further than the truth. And I've seen it countless times with all the Anons and people. We don't even know each other's names, but yet we support each other.
Yeah, the one thing I definitely see is a lot of people will follow each other. A lot of people will read each other's tweets and that. Just that little bit of support definitely helps getting the word out, especially when there's also some receipts associated with it.
Yeah, Matt, that's the first thing I want to start off is just thank you for all the support you've given this channel. And it's been an absolute pleasure meeting you.
Absolutely, man. Fine. It's great to meet new people. I'm still seeing that people are cutting out a lot.
Yeah,
I guess I need to keep talking if got to do.
Yep.
Because I'd hate to get on a rant, me just talking to you two.
No, it's all right, man. We'll figure it out. It's on the delay. I had to turn the music level down, so I think we're okay now.
Okay. Well, yeah, if you guys just let us know in the chat if it's getting better or worse or what. But yeah, no, I agree. And so we're helping each other out from throughout the world. Like we don't know each other, nobody even knows my name. Red Pill doesn't know it either, but we work and help each other because we all have the same mission. And that's to get this information out, to get, to help each other. Cover the information, do what we got to do. But it's kind of like, the first rule of Anon Club is don't talk about Anon Club outside of this. So we do keep it. We do keep it going. All right, can't hear, methods worth a damn. Cutting out, too low. Yeah, man. Is there anything that we could do about that? Because I'm just straight into Zoom.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I've used this before. I'm not sure, man. Got all the levels where they need to be. Going in and out. We'll have to figure it out. I'll have to try to
Someone
figure
said
this out
it's
on
a
the
little
fly.
better now.
Yeah, some people are saying it's good. Some people are saying it's not. Everything looks okay on my side. I'm not sure. Yeah, my brother just said it's a little better now, so it's all right. We'll carry on.
All right.
Let's
Well,
see.
yeah, we'll keep going, man.
Yeah, man. So I just wanted to start there, but it's just I always find it really interesting where people's journeys are, where people come from and their red pill journey, and it's just funny to me because where I started with me was probably in middle school. I was in 6th grade when 9/11 happened, and
Young.
ever since then, I always thought there was something off with how that happened, how that played out, and just the how that whole thing happened. And until I was always questioning everything. I was always like, okay, up until then I saw the Matrix movie and all that stuff, and then I came across Q and I left religion. My people know my story, but it's just interesting. I would love to know, where did you start in all this, man?
Right. Well, first off, that makes me feel better when you said you're in 6th grade. Because people call me young, and I was in high school when it happened. So that makes me feel a little bit better. I'm going to turn up my volume on my end a little bit.
Okay. Yep.
Just to see. I don't want to blow everybody's ears, but
yeah, everyone's saying it's good. It's good now. Everyone's saying 5-5. We're good.
Awesome. All right. Yeah. Okay. My first wake up moment was pretty much the same thing. I mean, I didn't really connect with people. You know, I wasn't, in any groups or whatever in school. I kind of kept to myself and didn't really like where things went. I tried fitting in like middle school and stuff. It didn't work out. Just didn't feel like I wanted to be that way, and like wear those certain clothes that everybody's wearing, listening to the same music. Yep. I got into metal when I was young, so I was already listening to things that people weren't listening to for the most part. But when I got to high school, it's kind of an interesting story because when 9/11 happened, I was leaving, I want to say first period, going to my second period, which happened to be, history. Wow. So, how ironic is that? And people are talking and like running into classrooms, right? And going to look at TV screens. And I'm just keeping to myself walking down the hallway. And I get to my class and I see everybody looking at the TV. So the first thing I notice is, the first building's been hit. It happened around the time I was leaving my first class. And then I look at the boards, and there was 2 whiteboards in my class. I don't forget it. I liked the teacher. He really kept my attention. I guess that's why I like what we do now, because history is, we're creating history now for the future. But both whiteboards were entirely filled with information that we weren't covering or we weren't going to cover. I don't remember specifically what we were going over, but it had nothing to do with what was going on around like Al-Qaeda, any of this stuff. Well, the whiteboards were entirely filled to the brim of what is Al-Qaeda, what is a jihad, definitions, history, all this stuff. Like he had just changed the script on everything. So I noticed, I was like, well, that's weird. And then the plane stuff's happening, and I hear that it has to do with, a terrorist attack. And then the second plane hits. So everybody's just kind of quiet.
Right.
So I'm over here thinking, how did that teacher know to cover this stuff if we just got randomly attacked? Like it didn't make any sense. Like almost to me, I will always believe this, that there was a note to send out that this kind of stuff needs to be covered.
Right.
Because why did he know to have the entire boards filled with it? And he just scrapped his entire syllabus. Yeah. So that right there kind of just always stuck with me, making me wonder, why did he know to cover it? What was going on? I didn't trust it. The building 7 going down made no sense to me. There wasn't another plane happening in that case. So I always from then got really curious about it. And then I would kind of start paying attention to stuff. What's up?
It was literally like just targeted indoctrination. Right.
It just felt like a smooth as far as school was concerned, it was a smooth transition. Yeah. They had it ready to go. And the teachers, like, he was always that joking guy or whatever, having a good time with us. He was very straight-faced. Like he was told, this is what you're doing. So we went down that route. And if I want to take it a little bit step further, because I still always kind of question things. I mean, when anybody that listens to like underground, like metal type music and stuff, it's kind of, there is that kind of against authority, being different kind of theme. Sure. So like it kind of just fit because I didn't feel like I fit in anywhere. So I would always kind of question things here or there, but fast forward to when the school shooting happened. I'm trying to remember the name of it.
Columbine?
Not Columbine. The
Sandy
one
Hook?
later on, Sandy Hook.
Yeah.
When Sandy Hook happened, I had a buddy of mine. I was over at his house hanging out, and he came. He came in. He had just gotten back from work. I met him there, and he goes, "Hey, man, did you hear about that shooting?" And I was like, "Yeah, man, that's crazy, right? Those poor kids. This is just terrible. I still didn't think guns should be banned, but it was a terrible thing to just hear happen. You want to hear about that." And then he goes, "Well, have you seen the videos on YouTube?" I was like, "What do you mean?" He goes, "Well, they have these videos that they're calling them debunking videos, and they're taking apart what's happening there. Just look at the video of the dad being interviewed, and he's laughing before, and he makes himself cry. It's pretty crazy."
Oh yeah, they're like the crisis actors, right? That's what we
Yes.
think is going on.
Yeah, exactly. So I was like, okay, I'll check it out. And he wasn't into that stuff either. It's just, I guess somebody told him about it. So I go home and I like, all right, I got some free time. I'm going to hop on YouTube and check this out. And I just remember just like a red pill I didn't know that I was taking, like somebody drugged me, and it was just kicking in real time as I'm doing these searches on YouTube. And I'm just thinking about all this stuff, and I'm like, this is a setup. This isn't right. So I'm looking up more stuff. And I just go down the rabbit hole, and kind of the rest is history, because then I started noticing, okay, these narratives are playing out in public, and there's a reason for it. And then you see, okay, the gun ban stuff and all of those things. That's when, to me, I knew that there was more to the story than what we were being told, just in general.
But that's where it started. So it was the shootings. It was the shootings, and well, that my thing is back. So when all this was going on, was there already kind of like a movement already kind of forming, or was there like a group of you guys already like that would research this stuff? Or
Well, just real quick, I remember Loose Change came out, and that was one of the first ones after 9/11.
Oh, Loose Change was great.
It was really trying to debunk 9/11, and so those two guys actually, I believe, went to Oneonta State College, which I'm familiar with. So that one, it's
That's
like,
crazy.
That was an eye-opening one for sure.
So yeah, that's what I wanted to like. So in that point in your life, Methods, were you talking to anybody about this stuff? Or were you kind of just keeping this to yourself?
Well, I mean, I back again, I didn't really hang out with a lot of people.
Okay.
I kept more to myself.
Okay.
So I was into it, and I would always, I wasn't into social media, which is weird, because everybody who knows me from Twitter. I used to make fun of it, spoiler alert. I used to think that it was stupid, and I still do, to a degree. I hate social media, but the platform and the medium of being able to do what we do, I mean, it's priceless when it comes to that. And on top of that, that's where the president's at. We got to defend and help him out. So no, I really wasn't in that world. But I would search and follow any suggestion back when YouTube would make great suggestions on videos, and I would just watch it endlessly when I had the free time.
That's crazy, man. That's the thing. Like, I didn't join Twitter until I got this account. Then I realized how bad Facebook sucks. Like, royally sucks as far as reach and marketing.
100% agree. 100% agree. Twitter's information is so much faster and more at your fingertips as compared to the Facebook. Facebook is always like a day or two behind when I go and check a Facebook page.
Usually. And the thing was, like, when I started doing this channel, like, finding information was so hard, and then I transferred over to Twitter, and I'm seeing these, like, you Methods. You and Red Pill were one of the first people I started following, so I just started hitting the notification bell. And when you guys started dropping, I'm like, okay, well, he seems legit. This makes sense. But then you find a whole multitude of all these other people, and these people are like savants. These people, some of these people could probably be working for the government.
They really should. Corey Diggs, definitely one.
No, great researcher, Corey Diggs.
She should be working for her own newspaper.
She really should. She
should be winning Pulitzer Prizes for her research that she does. But that's the thing, man. So you started questioning all these things, and when did it really? I guess as far as your background, like for me, I came from a religious background. I grew up a Christian for a long ass time till probably about 2 years ago, and I kind of just let that go after a while for own personal reasons. I had kind of had my own personal awakening. So Did that have any? Did you come from that religious background as well?
Well, no, I mean, I think a lot of people might know this, but I grew up a preacher's kid. I
never knew that.
Right? Yeah. No, my father was a Pentecostal preacher. I would have been the 5th generation preacher if I had gone down that road.
Wow.
But to your point, and I mean, I'll never force religion or whatever on anybody, and I'm not always the best example.
Yep.
Just read my tweets at times. To me, growing up in that world and seeing how organized religion can be, a blessing and a curse. To a degree, that's probably a whole nother show on what happened there, because I don't think I've even talked about that publicly. Yep. But to me, I have a relationship with God that means everything to me. I first thing in the morning, I'm praying and looking for guidance on stuff before shows. I have that moment, just let me be clear, let me help out and speak what I'm trying to say, because my mind's always going a million miles an hour, and it's trying to direct it into a string of conscience of sentences. It's the dream, right? To me, I always held on to my faith in general with all this stuff. And back to that whole thing about growing up and not really knowing my place. I didn't really know the direction I wanted to go in my life. I felt like I felt out of sorts. This movement, when it happened, clicked. And I was like, this feels like something I'm supposed to be a part of.
Yep.
Even if I'm just going to hop on Twitter, because that's where I noticed the battle was. We're all about information hustling, right? We need to move the information around. We need to get it to people and help them understand it. And Twitter seemed like the right place, the trenches, if you will, on information and the battle itself. Because I got no problem trolling and trashing people on the internet that are trashing our president. So I was like, all right, I'll show up on Twitter. 6-8 months from now, the way this Q guy's talking, everybody's going to be arrested. It's all going to be a new world. I could fade into the distance, go back to my private life, and we'll be fine.
Right.
When I hit 10K followers, it blew my mind. I was like, there's no way with this kind of reach, because I didn't plan on doing this for a while. But as I caught on and realized that this was, a long game, I knew that as I was growing and people were noticing that I was trying to be genuine. I was trying to handle information the best I know how. I'm really trying to help. I'm here for y'all. I could be watching all this stuff and be fine and just be aware for myself and my family.
Yep.
But I want to help. I mean, it feels like something that I meant to be a part of. As I grew, I realized the responsibility of being around when I would see myself in the links of top quote unquote, Twitter accounts to follow for Q. I'm like, I'm really getting put out there like this. And I never asked to be a leader. So I wanted to help people. So I want to use whatever platform I've created, the best I can. And that's why people like myself and Red Pill, which shout out to him. He's in the chat.
What's up, Red Pill? We see you. There he is. Yeah. What's up, Red Pill?
That's why we don't always try to cover things first. We try to cover it right. Because there's too much of this quick information that even the mainstream media does it, and then they have to retract whether they knew they were lying or not. And that's why we always want to try to handle information the best we can.
Absolutely, man. And that's the thing with me. Once I had my awakening, I had my spiritual awakening. And the thing is, like, when I tell people I'm not a Christian anymore, they think I'm some Satanist sometimes. Some of the comments I get, and I'm like, no. I still believe in God. I still meditate. I still pray. I still do all that. None of that has changed. My idea of religion has changed in a whole, but it doesn't mean I trash any religion. I respect every religion. And if that's your thing, that's cool. But my whole thing is we're all on the same page. We all want a better world. We all want these people to pretty much go down, aka die.
Well, I would say I want them to die. I want to see them suffer. I want to see them do their perp walks down the block.
Right, we want to see the perp walks.
Gitmo hanging on, on pay-per-view and give all the money to the kids who were tortured through the Clinton Foundation, whatever,
Yeah, that's the thing, and I just want to point that out to people. But as far as like, it's just really, that's like I was saying before. This whole community has blown my mind, and it's just so fascinating. To see everyone come together and just be that family and just be that one voice. And when I came across Q, that's where the door opened. I'm like, I can't keep my mouth shut about this. I have to tell people about this. And that's why, man, like when I met you guys, and you know, it just blew my mind. And then I got cued for the first time. I was literally almost in tears. I was almost in tears on my couch with my son 2 days before Christmas, and my phone was literally on fire.
On fire. And then you were texting me, and you're like, "Yo, I got cute." And I'm like, "Yo, that's so
literally
awesome.
I
That's
thought
great."
it was. I thought somebody was messing with me.
Yeah, no.
I really did, and I saw it.
We
and
went to the page. Yeah, we went to the page and checked it out.
In methods, I felt completely blessed. But knowing you, how many times you been cued? You probably lost track by now.
Yeah, I think it's been 8 times.
8 times, yeah. Today?
No, definitely not today. And but yeah, no, I know how you feel when it happened the first time, because I try to stay on the boards as much as possible, because you get to pay attention to what's going on. That's where information will break, and then you could drag it over to Twitter or just be aware of stuff. I enjoy the environment, whether it's crazy or not. You know, that's the anon world. Right. And so I was just so happened to like step away. I think I got a phone call or something, and I come back, and you know, it's before like scrolling to the newest post to see what I had missed walking away. I look down at my Discord, and I have like way too many messages that I shouldn't have had in 15 minutes.
Right.
And the first one I read was, "Damn, it's about time." And I was like, "What do you mean?" He goes, "You just got queued." And I just stopped talking. I didn't write anybody else back.
Ran right to the cue board.
And I went straight to the board. And I was like, let me go look real quick. And the first one I see is the typical, you know, when Q tags a Twitter post, it's a screen cap of the tweet,
right,
with a link and whatever videos they're capturing. And I see that, and the anon says something like, "Here you go, boss." And I'm like, okay. And I click that hyperlink, and I see it. And I'm just like, wow, that moment. And I was like, wait, I haven't even looked at my Twitter yet. And so I go over there, and the notifications that happen, and I know you know that from what happened to you, you can't even bother with it.
You can't.
There's no way, and that it just shows the power, and you know that's the power behind the laser pointer known as Q, drawing you in that direction to say, hey, look at this information. It was all there, and the love from everybody that when that happened, and just in general, this movement's just such just a bunch of great people. No, it was exciting for me for sure. And I mean, of course, you know, I try not to overplay it being, you know, as many times as it has. I mean, I'm grateful, but to me, I'm grateful that the content is being shared of what I put out there, because it needs to be covered.
Absolutely, man. And that's the thing, like, as far as content, I know we were kind of talking about this before. We going into this, I had to tell myself, if I'm going to do a channel like this, we have to fight the fake news, but we cannot be the fake news either.
Oh yeah, we have to have the receipts. Gotta have the sauce.
We gotta have the sauce, and that was something I had to tell myself. And I've not been perfect. I'll be the first one. That's why I always tell my followers, if I ever tweet something, say something in my video, call me out. Do not take my word for it. Don't take my word for anything. To be honest,
everyone should be doing their own research.
You should go do your own research. But if anything is, you know, fake news or comes up fake, please tell me. I will delete it. I won't even get mad, and we move on with their lives. But that's the thing about our channels, and I know you and Red Pill are really good with this as far as vetting information. And we get anyone that has a YouTube channel, you know methods. Anybody that has a big Twitter following, people want to send you down these rabbit holes that you already know. Am I gonna even bother with this, or am I just gonna freak out on this person and curse them out and say, I don't see any children in tunnels, please?
Yeah, I didn't see any 5G.
Right.
Well, I've learned, and the best advice to anybody as your account's growing on that stuff, like saying less is more. You know what I mean? Because the part of the enigma that is this movement is that everything gets covered. You know, I'll put out a video and I've edited it. I've looked at it. I've chosen timestamps. I've done all this. So I've been staring at it for a little bit, and I'll put it up, and somebody's like, look at the picture on the back, and point something out. And I didn't even notice it. Yep. They're going to pick out everything. And that's the beauty of the enigma. So even though it does get out there, and I don't necessarily get into things like gematria, any of that stuff, which is fine. If that's your thing, go for it.
Yeah. That's when they do the numbers and the letters, right?
Right.
Yep.
but I don't try to dog it. If anything, I just don't say anything at all. But as far as the thing about the tunnels and the children and all that, like, I'll go and look because enough people send it to me. That's the beauty of this movement, is if something happens, they're going to make sure that you know about it. And then 10 other friends are going to make sure that you know about it in the next 15 minutes. So I'm like, okay, I need to pay attention to this. This is relevant and being discussed in the movement, especially doing shows, 5-6 days a week. I kind of need to know what's going on the best I can.
Yeah.
So when I go look, and it's just like, it's sources say, my friend in the military said this, or it's a SoundCloud clip that I could have recorded if I wanted to and uploaded. Or a Wix website that hasn't even been registered yet. I might love the idea of it, of course, saving children in tunnels, but I can't put it out there. It's not fair to people that I'm trying to help, and people have leaned on me for the last couple of years. It's not fair to them if I don't. So once again, saying less is more, let things play out a little bit. Because then you find out, especially with this new stuff, and Q's brought it up recently, is that we're having the situation happen during this time that the shills, the disinfo agents, people that we don't even know, Twitter accounts that we wouldn't even know who to name, but they just put this information out there, or it gets dropped on 8kun and they act anon. They're fueling this fire to where if there's a situation that happens, they throw a conspiracy theory spin on it.
Yep.
And then push it out there. And then people like myself, you, Red Pill, all our friends at the Table of Titans, which I think a few are out there. Shout out to the boys. Yep. We get, why didn't you cover this? And we're like, because we don't believe that part of it, because we can't verify it, and it's just not right. That's what the mainstream media does. Yeah. So it is difficult to I sometimes do want to just go ham on Twitter and call it all out, say all this stuff. But I know if I do that, the methods is causing division. and then the shills spin it that way.
You can't win, man. That's why you're saying less is more. I'd rather not pick a fight, because you will. No matter what you do, you won't. It's not going to work out, and then you'll get called out either way for it. But I just find that so interesting. But that's the thing. Like, I don't ever want to pin my reputation on something that could be completely fake, and then I end up on a Daily Beast article.
How many times have I think I've sent you a bunch of direct messages, and I'm like, yeah, what do you think of this? Any sauce to it? Have you heard anything?
Yeah,
because I just won't retweet. I'll just throw it out there to direct message first.
Right. Yeah, I ended up in a Daily Dot article covering something that I didn't put out the sauce on how I found it, because it was somebody who works for 8kun that our conversations we keep private, but it was sent to me to cover. And so I covered it. It was when 8kun released that video when they were, of the ship and the new flag logo. Do you remember that when that happened?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, it was the new announcement of the name change stuff, and they were saying that 8kun's coming soon. The flag's waving. I know a lot of people in the chat will remember that. And in the flag, it had on the infinity symbol, or 8 or whatever you want to call it.
I'll bring it
there's
up real quick.
There's a Q that's in there.
Oh,
and
wow.
the person that works for 8kun or 8chan before pointed out and said, hey, yeah, they had to slip it in there for fun. So I was like, okay, I can verify. I'll just cover this so people have something fun to point out. And then I wake up the next day and I'm in a Daily Dot article calling me stupid for pointing out a Q, because we have to find things that aren't there.
Insane.
And so even when I'm right, I lose. So,
that's crazy, man. I just want to give a shout out real quick. I think the real Severe's here. What up, Severe?
You can thank. Yeah, you can thank Severe, actually, and shout out to my boy out there. Hope you're doing well. Because of him being on your show, I caught your live stream. I know that we had interacted a little bit on Twitter, but I caught the live stream, and that's kind of how me and you connected.
Yeah, man. No, I saw you in there, and it was actually you texted me, and my buddy Sean, who helps me run the show. He's like, "Yo, you know, Methods was in the chat, right? And like I freaked out like a schoolgirl. I'm like, no way. I'm like, why is Methods watching my stuff?
That's why I was sending those tweets out. Like, oh, you just show, look at you screen capturing, just showing because Methods responded to
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's funny. Well, that's what I'm saying, man. Like that's why, again, I love this community because I was a nobody in this movement, and it's just it's just started to blow up, but.
I'm still there. I'm just a background. I'm too busy. You know what I mean? It's tough. I'm so busy when once the business opens.
The thing is, I want you to tell your story about what you do, because you do contribute, and I told Methods this off the air. But for anyone that's new, that's not here,
I'm a barbershop owner, and so basically, when I have customers in my chair, politics is the topic. It's one of those things that I just feel out, poke, prod on the customers, and then oh, what, you Trump fan? Have you ever heard of Q? No, what's that? Oh, okay, well, let me show you a video, and then bam, right to Joe M. Storm is upon us. Hit him with the video. Q, the plan to save the world.
That's
and then,
it.
Yeah, and
they're on their way.
They're on their way. I'll hit him with the Greatly Awakening one that got queued, where it talks about has the guy from the CIA.
I think so, something like that.
Wolf, when he was speaking about everything, yeah. So I red pill while they're in the chair. I try not to do it when they have a razor on them. I'll do it.
Right.
I'll do it with
but
the
you could stop them you can stop halfway through the haircut to where they can't leave.
Absolutely. Oh, I've done that. I have absolutely done that. I've actually given people a screw face and what's wrong with you? And I'll stop the haircut. I'm like, hold on, let me show you something. Haircuts are an hour with me. Everybody gets an hour appointment.
But hey,
I'm red pilling.
But dude, you're planting those seeds though. You're planting those seeds.
A lot of seeds.
But that's that's part of this movement. You're not on YouTube, but
no,
you're still doing
every once in a while with you. Thanks, buddy.
But hey, you're still doing your thing though, and that's I think that's such a cool story.
I don't even know how many people I've done. Quite a few. 400.
Right.
I have a little over 400 customers, so they all know. They all know at this point.
There's no hiding.
Right. Well, I mean, to your point on that, you say that you don't have a whole lot of time to be able to contribute to this movement in the way that myself and Woke does. That's part of the reason why we do what we do, because we do have the time to do that kind of stuff. We want to put in that extra effort to help people like yourself when you get off work. Doing your thing, you get to catch up real quick, right?
Oh, yeah.
And on top of that, you're reaching, you said 400 clients that might not have ever heard about this movement at all unless you did that. And who are they red pilling?
Exactly.
Who are
they? That's a good question.
The butterfly effect of the information is a beautiful thing. And it's all about reaching whoever. I don't care about numbers. I know that coming from a guy with the kind of following I have on Twitter, it's just a number. They're going to come after us. I don't plan on being able to have that platform for forever. Sure. And that's why I knew months back in talking to Red Pill and stuff and, our other friends that I needed to also, let people know that I'm willing to talk and let's do the YouTube thing. It makes it to where it's a lot easier. So, one platform opportunity goes down. All I got to do is make a call to somebody and say, hey, let me hop on this one and catch everybody up. And we all just take care of each other.
So good though.
Really helps. Man, that's what we got to do though. Nowadays, it's an all out information war with these media platforms.
Just to put it in perspective, what grade did you say you were for 9/11?
I was in 6th grade.
6th grade.
To start middle school.
Methods, you were in high school. I was in graduate school working on my master's degree when 9/11 happened. So there you go.
Yeah, but the age thing doesn't matter with this, nothing. Especially when everybody assumes that we're all anon for the most part.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So it is a scary enigma. When people found out that I'm in my early to mid 30s, they didn't believe me. They thought I was older. And then I got a bunch of you're old enough to be my son and all that stuff. But because I didn't want it to be about me as much. And if you look at my older tweets and stuff, I wouldn't even add a lot of information or do quote unquote decodes. I would just put enough information out there to get you interested.
Right.
Because it's all about getting people to think and go further with it and take your time.
Yep.
So yeah, to me, that's why one of the many things I love about this.
So Methods, were you already doing this kind of prior to Q? like Q came around what, October 2017? That's when they first dropped.
October 28th. 2017 was the first drop.
How was it before Q arrived? Like, was there this when Trump became president? This because I wasn't into politics. I actually hated Trump. I told myself I could never vote for a Clinton, so I voted for Trump. And then I saw then I realized the entire media attack is what actually started to turn me onto this content and these.
That's what got me.
I'm like, how is this possible? Where this? Because I remember watching Trump on his show. His what was the show he had? The game show he had.
Apprentice.
The Apprentice. I'm like, this man looked like he was beloved before this, and now he's the worst human in the world. And it's like, where? And then all these Russia claims and the hoax. So where were you at this point before Q started coming into the picture?
Well, I was paying attention because you could see the writing on the wall with Hillary.
Right.
The dynasty of even these families that have been working together, Obama, Clinton's, Bush's, and all that. Yep. To me, I was like, Hillary's getting in. I'm ending up in an empty Walmart somewhere with with a badge on, saying that when I'm going to be put away.
Right.
Wow.
So that's part of the reason why I've been doing the anon thing for so long, because I could tell where things were going in a sense. I wasn't terrified, but I wasn't going to make it easy. So when Trump gets announced, I didn't have a problem with the guy. Yeah. I didn't have a problem with him at all. I like just watching chaos. Like, a lot of people have a problem watching these hearings when like the Democrats are just being rude and stuff. And then you get that moment where a Republican shuts them down and it's like oh, nailed it moment. But we, that whole cringe stuff, like, I just like watching train wrecks in slow motion. So you insert Trump into the election cycle, and you just see it's totally different.
Must have loved it. Must have loved it.
Loved it.
Oh yeah. So yeah, when they would have the debates and stuff, I'm like watching it, and I'm enjoying every moment, because you don't know what Trump's going to say next and what's going to happen with it. And like I said before, a Hillary Clinton presidency, I just had it. I knew it was going to be terrible. And especially since what we've learned in the last few years of how terrible it was going to be. Imagine dealing with this pandemic stuff now with Hillary running it. You know what I mean? We'd be pressing 3 for English and 1 for Chinese at this point.
Well, dude, that's the thing. Like, I keep telling people about this virus. I still think this virus was going to happen regardless of who the president was. I just think we would have been in a shittier situation. We could be at war right now with Russia. We could be at war with Iran. All these countries, like. Dude, there's no way if she was president, I don't know if we'd be talking right now, to be honest.
Right. No, when this movement would not have. Well, I mean, there would have been some kind of thing that would have. Say what, bud?
I'm thinking a military coup. Military would have had to have over and not allowed this to happen.
Yeah, to me that they probably were planning on it, and I think even Q's alluded to it before, but. So election night, I'm sitting with my buddy who's been enjoying, not the same one, but a different friend, years later. And I'm sitting there watching all this stuff, happen on the election night. And I'm like, I think Trump's going to win. And me and him sat up and watched it all the way. We stayed up late. We wanted to make sure that we watched, Hillary come out and have to say something. They send out Podesta. And you're like, the writing's on the wall on all this stuff. And I'm like, we're about to have a Trump's America. Holy hell, what is this going to be like? And,
nobody knew,
if anything,
nobody knew.
Right. But it made me feel even more patriotic because I was excited, because I've been totally against what we've had as leadership and just the whole apparatus for so long. I was like, this guy's about to shake everything up.
Absolutely, dude. That's why they always say, like, they never thought she would lose. That was not part of the plan.
No, it definitely wasn't part of the plan.
So as that's going on, so when did Q start? I guess I've always wondered this, because you'd be the perfect person to ask. When did Q start becoming like, okay, these guys, this isn't some internet shill here? When did that started to become legit?
Well, like I said before, I didn't really do much of social media. I would lurk stuff, but I didn't interact with people. I didn't really post anything.
Right.
So Q happens. And my buddy, who was more into like the 4chan, 8chan stuff than I was, found out about him pretty quick. And so he comes to me, and he's actually having to stay on my couch. He was going through in between housing situations. His good friend, love him to death. And, he tells me after I get off work, and he's like, "Hey man, have you heard about this Q thing?" I was like, "What are you talking about?" And he shows me, takes me over to 4chan and says, "Man, read these posts. I figure it's up your alley." Cause he knew I was into this stuff.
Right.
So he showed me, and just like the YouTube Sandy Hook videos and just falling down that rabbit hole, I immediately got hooked, and it just felt in, that second nature thing, like this is going to mean something. So I was all for it. And if anything, it was like the best played out, at that point, like fictional real-time novel that I'm going to follow. Cause we didn't know if it was going to pan out to anything in those beginning few days.
Yeah.
So to get to your question, I got on social media just to lurk around looking for Q people and Q stuff to see what was being said about it, to understand it more. Because, it would, you get a few posts here or there, and then there's downtime. Right. Well, you want more, right? You want to go find something else. So I would hop around on different social media and just kind of look at it. And so to answer your question, I got to see it grow in the public forum just by proxy, because I've been there since essentially the beginning.
Right.
But as far as that going, like I wasn't talking to any friends about it that I had before, anything like that. I've lived in this world since it started.
So lucky. You know what it is? Because all right, so all right. And I had my my moments where it was like something else is going on. But you know what really made me dive head first, every day, reopened my Twitter account, started following Trump, and started being that digital soldier, that digital army, that researcher, that red pillar, was Game of Thrones ending sucked. I had nothing else to do. It ruined me, and I ran right to politics. I was like, there's got to be a better storyline here. There's definitely a better ending here.
That's awesome. Wow, it's already 8:52. Let me just hop over the chat. I knew this was gonna happen, Methods. I knew this was gonna happen.
I'm good with it, man. We can chat as long as you want to.
Yeah, no, it's all right. I'm probably just gonna keep the content out of it tonight as far as the Q drops. I can save that for another night. I just want to hop over the chat real quick and just say hello to everybody. How is everybody doing? I see the chat is off the chain right now. Sean, you were keeping that chat sexy. I can definitely tell. I don't even think I saw it. Was there a troll here? If you can answer in the chat, I don't think I saw one troll here today. So we have to bring Methods.
I just saw a message retracted. As you said that, a
message retract. Yeah, that's probably one right there gone.
No, there's a lot of talk about if Red Pill is engaged yet or not, because he off the market.
Oh, geez, here we go.
I told him as soon as he face doxed, I knew it was coming.
Let me just put it out there. I am not taking Methods from anybody. Okay, let's just put the rumor mill to death right now.
No, it was just a cool hang for an hour with.
That's it. That's it.
Through Anon, who does his thing. And listen, I remember the day you hit 100,000. I remember the tweet you put out when you hit.
Oh
followers. Yeah. So that was this dude got 100,000 followers. I was like, all right, let me check him out. And then I started like, oh wow, yeah, no, he definitely knows his stuff. He got the sauce. Yeah, I'm gonna follow him. I'm gonna do it. Yeah,
that was it.
That was it,
man. No, it's been a ride, man, and it's just meeting all you guys is just surreal to me, and actually hanging out and talking to you is still kind of surreal to me. But we are all here. We're all a family, and I'm just so honored to be part of all this. And I guess Methods, where we can kind of end. Where do you see this movement going? And I'm asking this. I know it's a very open-ended question, but it's funny because my last episode I just put out, right? It's one of my best episodes I put out. It's called Boom Week, and I'm already every day in the comments. I'm getting the trolls. Monday, no boom. Tuesday, no boom. And every day I'm getting something. But trolls. I keep telling people,
you need to stay about a timeline.
No, you got it. I keep telling people, don't have blind faith, but you got to be patient with this. But this is a plan that it has to be perfect.
It has to be
it has to be by the book
in order for the indictments to turn into arrests.
Right. There can be no pinholes in this plan at all. And you know what? Even if Methods, if nothing happened this week, I wouldn't even be upset about it. You know?
Oh, right. Yeah. No, I definitely, because we've been through this so many times. Like, so when you're getting those comments, we've been getting them for 2 years.
Right.
So it is what it is. I feel bad for people if they're genuinely upset, because we try not to do the date fairy stuff to where we point out, oh, it's going to happen on this. I tell people dates that I'm paying attention to,
right,
because of something coming up or whatever. And now I see it in the chat. I am married, by the way, guys. I'm happily married. It'll be 9 years in July. But with that said, as far as where this is going, first off, for the movement, and I've said this recently, and I kind of wanted to be, repeated as much as possible. We should have been to anybody that's saying like, oh, okay, well, no rest. I'm wake me up when rest happen.
Right.
Or nothing, the plan, it's not going to happen. Okay, fine. If that's how you feel, that's cool. But shouldn't we have been doing all this anyways?
Exactly.
Right. Like, shouldn't we already have been calling out the media on their nonsense, finding the clips to refute things, because they're trying to install people as presidents again, and, leaders in rig elections and do all this stuff. And they make claims when all we have to do is go find a clip that finds its way to like our friends at like Gateway Pundit, Zero Hedge. It makes it up the chain, right? Yep. And that one person found that, right? So they put it out there, and it just explodes and becomes a thing. We should have been doing this all along. So as far as the movement, I think we're going to keep doing this. I personally enjoy it. I know our friends enjoy it. I know that you guys do. And on top of that, this forum, like right here, just chatting, this casual conversation that just flowed. I always see that it happens with us on quarantine all the time in the chat. Now we even feel that way, how quick it flows. And then people say that it wants to be longer. Well, that means that there's not to say it's a supply and demand, like a business, but people need this in their lives. They need casual conversations instead of the doom and gloom, the Hannity cutoff moments for 30-second sound clips, all those things. They need this time like this right now. So I think as far as the future of the movement, we're going to see more of these like casual chats happen. We're going to keep doing them. We're going to see, people get better and better at covering this information, and we're going to become more of a problem, for, the establishment. And we need to see them go away. And that's just going to take time. It's going to take continuing being unified, showing a strong front with things. And as far as where I see things going, as far as the quote unquote plan, I have complete confidence in Durham because I haven't been given a reason not to. Yeah. And since we have been paying attention for so long, we know what information he's been handed. We go back and watch what's been lied about in hearings by other people. And then we see the truth come out, and we read these footnotes, these declassified sentences, and we can see the picture painted. And it's like, the only thing is that we're in a lot of trouble if people don't get prosecuted, because justice is really dead. And I know that it's not on everybody's timeline that they would prefer or they think how it should happen, but it would take Durham coming back and saying everything was fine, Trump's wrong, Joe Biden 2020, for me to be like, oh shit, right? Like we're in trouble, right? So I think that's something to wait for as far as what is Durham going to do?
Well, that's the thing too. I want to bring up that for the people that are impatient about the arrest, this whole entire plan that Q has rolled out, we were all everybody that I've met, even if you were into conspiracies, we were all programmed to some degree. We were born into it. There was no way we could have avoided it. All this time that's passed, I believe it's almost been like a training that Q has been kind of just showing us from the beginning when they started dropping. And they, even with the recent drops now where they said, okay, you are now ready. And Q didn't say this until what? 3 years into the movement?
3 years, yeah. There's no need for proofs anymore.
Right. There's no need for proofs anymore. So when I keep telling people there's multiple facets to this plan that are going on, you can't just go in and start arresting people. And because I talked to my liberal friends, which I still have amazingly, and I said, what would you guys do if Hillary just got rounded up, Obama rounded up? He's like, oh, it would be all out war. He's like, we wouldn't stand for that because they think Trump's the problem. Exactly. So in response, it was almost a semi-violent response. Imagine an entire country. You can't just go and take the head off the snake whenever you feel like it, because it's not on your timeline. I feel like we had to be prepared. Q had to establish a base of anons, of people that were willing to get this information out and to help the movement and to kind of lessen the blow from when the actual shit hits the fan.
Basically, we are Q now. You know what I mean? Like, Q can go away and never post again. We know we have our jobs to do still. And I tell people that all the time. If Q never posted again, it would be upsetting. Trust me. It's nice having them. Yeah. It's great having them around. But if they never posted again, we would still be fine. This movement wouldn't die. Would keep carrying. We would still keep fighting for Trump and battling the fake news every step of the way.
Right.
Yeah, a lot of us that have been doing this for a while and kind of found like our groove and things. We know our role in this in society in general, not just with Q. That's why like people tell us in our chat, hey Red Pill, hey Methods, get back to the Q post. It's like, well, we want to cover other things that weren't covered in Q post today.
Right.
You know, we're not just trying to do a decode show. But I get it, but we can't, I know that we joke, you know, we might have, you know, our memes and stuff about people, you know, normies or whatever, you know, we'll call them sheep or what, but really it's something that those are the lost ones that we're here for. And then you have people that are in different stages of being awake. And it's not just like learning all the information to where you are, you know, the smartest person in the room when it comes to politics or what's really been going on. But it's the lifestyle of trying to be a patriot, loving not just your country, but people from all around the world. You know, we connect in such this way that, you know, we sometimes like I feel bad when our show starts at a certain time and it's 4 a.m. for our friends across the pond. You know, like I hate it, but we have to take care of each other in every single different way. Yep. And you don't know where people are.
No, man, that's why it's humbling when I see people out in Scotland and Ireland. They stay up till 3-4 in the morning to watch my live streams. I'm just like,
awesome.
You only know me through my channel, and you're willing to do that. Like, I know it's not like a huge deal, but to me, that's crazy to me.
It's the unity that.
But it's the power of the movement.
Power of the
that
movement.
People want. Yeah. They want to consume this content. They want to hear it. So it's just crazy. But we're at 9:02. All right, man. Well. Let me see if there's any other really good questions here in the chat.
I got one question.
Go for it.
So, do you have an idea of who the first indictment? You gotta guess.
Oh, that's a great question. Yeah, who do you think's gonna go down first? If you had to
put money on it. Who's the first domino? Is it
writing? Go ahead.
Oh, no, I was gonna say just who's the first domino you think?
Right. Well, if I wasn't gonna hold Q's word as far as it's going to shock everybody, you know, and all that stuff, because that to me all day was Obama, because that's definitely how you wake up the world.
Sure. President, right?
But the writing on the wall to me right now, until you know something could happen tomorrow that changes, is going to be, you know, the FBI crew that was setting things up, because exonerating Flynn builds a perfect stage for taking down the people involved. You know, the Comeys, the McCabe's, the Strocks, the Pages, like that crew.
Yates,
because then, exactly, Yates, because that sets, you have to think about it going, you know, like how Q did say one step at a time. That builds out to say, all right, well, what did the clowns know? You know, go in, get into the Brennan, the Clappers, you know, the intel community people. And then you say, all right, well, if they were all doing it, this is under, you know, the Obama administration's watch. Well, what did they know? And now you've got the stage of all the intel agencies who are answering to Obama and his team are getting indicted with evidence. And there's proofs on these things. I would like to see some of them confess, because that makes life a lot easier. For sure. Like confess publicly. And then that's how you go back after Obama. And then you could take things internationally on, well, what are the Muslim Brotherhood connections here? How did he become president? And then it's, you see what I mean? Like you have to go down that road.
And one step at a time and very methodically.
Nice.
Right. Yeah.
See what I did
if I had a sounder for that corny joke, I'd play it right now, but I don't. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, just to restore some people's faith that are we haven't seen arrest. My thing is, because you know, everyone goes up and down emotionally. No one, guys, girl, it doesn't matter. I was down 1 week about this whole thing. I'm like, Q's just putting out these soppy drops. I don't really want to read it today, but then I read that when this whole virus thing was going down, I thought it was going to put a whole kibosh in the timeline as far as where the investigations were at.
Oh.
So I was like, we're not going to see anything till next year. But then I read something that
Durham was
he was driving from Connecticut down to DC or wherever he had to be,
Maryland,
to make sure he was continuing
with the grand jury.
The grand juries with no interruptions. I'm like, you know what? That's fuck yeah. That's awesome. You know what? I'm good with this.
I'm good with
My
it.
spirits have been restored. So
I'm good with it.
You know,
like you said, the same information that's exonerating Flynn is going to be the same information that is going to indict.
Right. And that's what we're waiting for. So we shall see. But that's
exciting times.
As far as that methods, I knew we were gonna go over time, but it's all good. I had a great time talking with you. I'm glad we sparked a friendship here, and I hope it's long lasting. And
thank you so much, man. I appreciate it too. You know, I appreciate the follow on Twitter, some of the likes on my comments, man. It helps a lot.
So everybody, now first off, man, the pleasure's all mine. I'm really glad that I met you guys, and anybody out there that says I don't follow people back, you just heard them. I do.
And I'm a guy with less than 1,000 followers, but you guys can fix that. Now let me tell you something. Yesterday I had about 749.
Yep.
Okay. And you put out that tweet that Methods and I were going to be on your show tonight. And Methods puts it out, and now I'm at 849.
Just like that.
Overnight. It's like you guys, you guys.
They got the influence.
But that's why I understand why you guys wait on your tweets, because that influence is extremely powerful.
It's a responsibility, man.
It is responsible.
It really is.
With great power. This is a great responsibility, right?
I mean, it's true though. It's true. I mean, we try to handle it correctly, and I want to help everybody. I really do. I get dropped in my DMs like tweets, and it's kind of like they don't even say anything, but it's like please Methods retweet it, and it's like I really can't because I don't have time to research to make sure that it's true or something like that. So I feel bad, but I just don't. If I spent time in my DMs answering back people all day, I couldn't do what I do.
It's a full-time job.
So it is what it is, but no, I'm grateful. Obviously we got to do this again, right? This was a good conversation.
Absolutely. That's the thing. I want to let everyone know right now. Again, I am not taking Methods from Red Pill's show. He is welcome back anytime. I mean, I don't see why we couldn't do something maybe once a month, or it doesn't even matter. I can just announce it the next day. It doesn't matter. We're going to be in constant contact with each other, so we'll definitely have to do this again for sure.
Hitting the Twitter sphere hard.
Right. And everybody out here that came over because we promoted it on the show. Woke is a great guy. This platform here, he's really trying to build it up. Make sure you subscribe to it, check it out, enjoy his work. And to that point, I don't have an exclusive contract with Red Pill. I like hanging out and chatting with people that I can have a good conversation with. And for everybody that hung out consecutively for the last hour, this conversation was great. So no, we'll definitely do this again. I have no problem as long as my schedule fits.
Absolutely.
I'm all for it. So yeah, man, we'll do it again. Thanks for inviting me.
No problem, Methods. Thank you for coming, my friend, and we will definitely do this again. I'll talk to you in a little bit.
Thanks,
all right.
Methods.
Good night, gentlemen.
Good night. Well,
awesome.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen.
Hang with Methods.
We got to hang out with Methods for an hour. The infamous Methods. Well, you know what? The content didn't even matter what I had lined up. The conversation was more than enough. It was fantastic.
It was great.
So sorry about the audio problems at the beginning of the episode, ladies and gentlemen. This is still a work in progress, even a year into it, but...
And I still have to learn how to talk towards the microphone. I'm sorry. We already fixed it before we even started, and I keep forgetting to turn my head to the mic so you guys can hear me. I'm new to this. This is my third time on your show?
That's it, man.
Yeah,
we're up and comers.
Third time's a charmer.
We're up and comers. So I just want to give a shout out to all the people. I saw Ardoc. I saw Hulk. I saw Sulky.
I saw the Tanya 01. I saw
Tanya. Yeah, the 01 Tanya. She's always here. Thank you.
Always there.
So if you guys can for me before we bounce out of here, please subscribe to the channel. Let me put it up here one more time.
Into the Matrix.
Go to the YouTube Woke Society's channel. Like, share, comment, tell everybody about it, and all that good stuff. And if you guys can donate to the show. I forgot to give my mods the links. it was too late. I wanted to make sure everything was okay starting out. But go to the PayPal. You can do a one-time donation. Check out the store and check out the new t-shirts and hoodies. They're really high quality, all made here by well, this is a different guy, but he's local. He makes his name's Bruce. He owns a t-shirt shop, and this is all made in New York. And of course, all the mugs and engravings, printing that is done by my brother here in New York. So all American made, all American. So that's gonna wrap up the show. I had a great time.
I had an awesome time, dude.
Thanks for coming. Having you here, it kind of makes me feel a little bit normal that we're not in quarantine anymore. So
yeah. You know what? 45 days. Just needed to get out.
It's all right,
Just
man.
needed to get out, man.
It's all right. So that's gonna be that. Let me play my outro music. Here we go. So if you guys haven't subscribed yet, subscribe. If you haven't, hit that like button. Hit the like button. It takes 2 seconds. Again, thank you for everyone that joined the show from all across the world and all that good stuff. Thank you all. You're all fantastic. And we're definitely going to do this again soon. We'll get Methods back on for sure.
Awesome. Yeah.
It was a good time. So, as you guys know, stay safe, keep warm, and until then, stay woke. Good night, ladies and gentlemen.